comics are stupid.
No Harry Potter movie is good.
And you're like, give me the Snyder Cut. Oh, sorry, just walk in front of you here. Gonna put my popcorn down. Oh, sorry, gotta put this here.
Universal needs to sue Sony.
Hey, I'm an idiot. I was fired from Fox. Let me go.
I'd like actually to see Venom just crush Spider-Man.
Hello everyone, so I'm back today and I'm going to be talking about Loki episode 1, which was like something about destiny, you know that destiny stuff? It's a very good episode though. I want to talk about some theories and along with obviously my initial reaction to the episode and just kind of get all that out of the way in a fairly timely manner, assumably. So we got our first episode of Loki and it was a good episode. I really enjoyed it. I think it really did cover, you know, a lot of it was really the kind of flashback episode in a sense, or the catch everyone up episode where they kind of talked about Loki's past. They call, you know, variant Loki, I guess we can call him, up to what's going on. We saw the evil Loki who's now going to be the villain, probably, of the show, and we also learned about the timeline. That's the thing I wanted to focus on first because I think that's such an important part of everything that's going to happen because the timeline, of course, will be something which I believe will have to play into everything else. So when it comes to this, right, we have the TVA, and we learn about these wonderful people called, I believe they're timekeepers, right? And these timekeepers, obviously from the comics, we know, created the timeline, and of course they're continuing this here. Now, this timeline idea, which I've talked about at least before, leaves a lot of things open, and they do seem to continue to leave these open. Some of these things include Kang. Kang seems to be someone who seems just like, you know, right there in terms of coming. And I think that that's something which will be massive and I think could totally, I think he's already kind of like rumored / confirmed to appear on the show. So I think that's something which will definitely happen. I think the Watcher could appear in this. Obviously from Guardians of the Galaxy, we saw Stan Lee and the Watchers. And I think, you know, He Who Remains will be probably one of the last people who kind of shows up in terms of the show from the comic standpoint. And I think, you know, it was a really good opening episode, to be honest, where it really did kind of focus on all these different aspects of time and of Loki, right? And I think we're really going to start to understand why things are happening. And I think this will be a really good show for kind of explaining the MCU going forward, because I think it is something which, you know, Loki did really help us kind of understand. And I think also the human side of Loki, right? Like, the other thing they do is they're really good at making this episode seem like, look, this is that Loki, you know, that's the end of him. His story's over. This isn't him. We aren't, you know, copying out and reviving him. No. This is a new Loki, a new guy. You know, he's different. And there's going to be an evil Loki. We don't know how that works. I assume it has something to do with, like, variants, you know, at another point escaping or something like that. And I do think that's interesting, though, that, you know, you've got this stuff, and I mean, yeah, and it'll be interesting because I do have a hunch they're going to deal with Nexus beings and stuff like that in this show as well, because of course Scarlet Witch is a Nexus being, as we learned from that, and we also know that she's trying to do stuff with time. We know Doctor Strange does stuff with time, so I think it'll be interesting to kind of see what happens there and what the extent of the timeline is, right? Because they talked about how the Avenger going back in time and stuff like that was all part of the timeline. So does that mean everything that happens is part of the timeline? But then if that happens, like, you know, there's a lot of different aspects of this which they do have to explain a little bit more. But I think it's good. I really do love the Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston chemistry because they're just really good together. You know, they really work off each other well. And actually, Mobius gives me kind of that Woody Harrelson vibe for some reason. I don't know. But I think that's really cool. But yeah, I mean, really, it was just a really well done first episode. You know, really, I think it's probably one of the best first episodes they've done, and I can't wait to see what else they do going forward with the show. And I mean, it's interesting that it's on Wednesdays. I mean, I know why. Obviously, we talked about this, but yeah, that's about all. So let me know what you thought of the episode down below. Did you like it? What was your favorite part? Who do you want to see in the MCU kind of show up in here, or from even the comics show up in here, and how do you think they can make that happen? Let me know down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe. You know, subscribing is very helpful and it makes me happy inside. And see you all next time, okay? Bye.